Over here is the bridge wing. You can see we got our signal lantern right there. That's used for the signalman to send light messages using a Morse code style to other Navy ships. But up forward over here, we have the big eyes, those binoculars right there. That's the lookouts used to spot other ships while we're out underway. This is the captain's chair right there. It's like his lounge chair, I guess you could say. Now we'll go up here. Oh yeah, by the way, the guy when we're looking at showing you the pilot house, the bridge, the guy that was sitting down at the table with the white t-shirt on, the white guy, he's my boss. He's called a dispersing officer. He's in charge of all money transactions on the ship. And as well as he's the sales officer. He's in charge of the ship store. Okay, now this right here is our missile launcher. They got it in standby position. We fire two types of missiles. A surface-to-air missile and a surface-to-surface missiles on board. They slide up to that little hatch down there at the bottom. See the hatch right there? They slide up to the hatch. That part right there goes straight up and down, and a missile slides onto the rail, and then it breaks and goes into position. Now, you can see up there, we got all the lines that are attaching to the ship. That's holding us to the pier. And that big wheel in the middle, that does two things. It helps us pull our lines back in, and it also, you can see the chain connected to it. That's where the anchor is pulled up and down at. Oh, there you go. You can see a guy come up the scuttle. They're working on some welding down below. So he's all dressed up in a fire outfit. See the gloves and the little scarf he's wearing. Alright. That's pretty much about it for this, what's called the forecastle, the forward end of the ship. Alright, let's move on. Adler again. His first name's Cole. He's a good friend of mine. He's having lots of fun on the brow watch, as you can see. Alright. Now in here it's going to start to get a little noisy. You got people working over there on the boat. There's what's called a division of guys, a bunch of guys that take care of the ship. They're just called deck seamen. They help preserve and paint the ship. And walking around here. That's what he's doing over there. He's preserving the ship. Now kids, if you guys ever want to join the Navy, I'm telling you, I didn't mean that to you, Kevin or Chrissy. Like I said, this is part for Jennifer's class too. You guys ever want to join the Navy, never, ever, ever join the Navy unless they guarantee you a job. Now that other guy walking around, he's a bosun mate. Bosun's mate's job is to, as well as take care and preserve the ship, they're like the bosses for the deck seamen. Those are the guys that understand all about rigging up lines and helping keep maintenance on the ship. Okay, we're going to walk back here. It's going to get kind of noisy. See all the nets and stuff they're putting out. How you doing there, boats? Not much. He's working on greasing one of the lines that lower this boat. This is the captain's pilot boat. Oh yeah, that up there, that's Brewer. He's having fun. He doesn't know it's not for my parents. Okay. That right there is one of our combat radars. That helps the guns and the missile launcher direct targets. Up the top up there is the big screen radar. That's what tracks other ships. But all the rest of them are various antennas for communications and combat systems. Now that, oh yeah, that room I briefly showed you real quickly. How do I say this? That didn't happen. We're not supposed to videotape combat, but a friend of mine let me in. This right here, kids, is the barrel. Let me move around here real quick. I know the camera's pointed a different direction. That right there is the barrel for a 76mm gun. I'll show you guys the rounds later on. That's our cannon. We have missiles, we have cannons. And that back there, it's got a cover on it. You guys ever seen that movie with Steven Seagal called Under Siege? That gun that shot down the plane, that's called a failing system. We have one of those too. Now this little nub ball we got right there is our MRSAT. That's our satellite communication. We can make phone calls over satellite, which we're not allowed to do unless it's a complete emergency, because it's like $8 a minute. But like I said, if it's a complete emergency, we can make one. Okay? That right there is part of our gas tank. And in a clip in the video, I'll show you, you'll see how we get fuel when the ship's underway out at sea. We don't have to pull into a port. Now it's going to get noisy because we're a whole bunch next to these vents here. This right here is the top of our engine stacks. That's where the smoke comes out from the engines. Alright, we're going to stop for now while I go down below, and I'm going to show you guys the rest of the ship. To our spaces. This right here, what's called a scuttle. You see my feet? And the camera strap's in the way. And the camera cap's in the way. Okay? That's how we go down. We put our hand here, camera strap's in the way again. This isn't trunkless. Come on, action. Step. That's how we go down. I made it through the hull, down in the main deck of the ship. Now this is the entrance to the flight deck. Those guys out there are doing maintenance on the back part of the ship there. Some of our tools. Yeah, you're going to hear a lot of announcements made. That's how we have a PA system on board. Like in school and all that, we have a communication PA system where we can page people, find them or get them to someplace. This is where the helo lands. Now as I round around, you'll see the helo. It's all folded up inside the hangar. That's one of our little aircraft control towers. He helps land the helo. Okay. That's one of the guys that works on the helo. Right out in the wanko. There's the helo in there. All folded up, tucked away. It's really hard to show it right now, but we'll try to get a clip in the front view when we go to the front door. There's another helo control tower. You see? The back side of the gun now. I want to go in again. I'll show you guys. This is what it's like walking through a Navy ship. This is what's called the center line passageway. It's right in the center of the ship. Okay. This stuff here, you've seen all these red boxes and all that, and those green containers. Inside of there, let me open one up. Okay. That's firefighting ensemble. Alright. Just walking right past this. YN35 Ash. He's the officer secretary. Alright. That's the firefighting gear we use. Underneath this. I'm going to pause for a minute. We got people coming through. Asking all that. And that thing goes on your chest. And these little green cans slip inside of it. Through a chemical mixture, they create oxygen. So you can fight a fire and still breathe. Oh. And this is one of our reckless rebel airmen.
18-3 Doyle, Liberty Secure, baby.
For kids, too.
What?
For kids, too.
What?
This video. Anyways, what he meant by Liberty Secured Kids, he was kind of a bad boy last night, came in after curfew.
Nobody better lay a finger on my butterfinger.
Kind of a bad boy last night, and he broke his curfew, and now he's grounded. That happens in real life too. But that's all about an OBA. I'm going to pause for a minute. Helicopter there. And we'll look down it. That's the front of the helicopter. Alright, now we'll turn around and go to the other side of the centerline passageway. Now as you can see, We have 2 helo hangars, but we only have 1 helo. So we converted the other one into our workout room, so we can work out underway. There you go. This is our own Stephen W. Groves Big Tanny. Alright, called the port side of the ship. Those 3 tubes right there, they launch torpedoes. And you can see that door that's all got these little dogs on it, they're called, the little handles all around them. That's how you open and close some manual, what's called manual of these dog doors. Inside of there is where the torpedoes are kept. They're hoisted out of there on a little gurney, and then they're loaded into these tubes. Now our torpedoes can be shot out from one side of the ship, and a torpedo is what's called a smart weapon. They locate their target, and they can go up underneath the ship and go out to the other side if they want to find it. These 2 things here are what's called life rafts. Inside of there it can hold 25 guys. Well, not inside of there. What happens is you dump them overboard and they drop in the water and then they explode and inflate themselves. Inside of there can hold, one of those life rafts can hold 25 people, and it's got food and water rations in there for them too. Alright, we'll pause again, and the next place we're going to is where we eat. Alright, bye.